Oh, okay. It's not really the way I planned on doing it, but I guess we're going to do it this way because it's going to be a little bit of a different show. So, out of respect, I'm actually going to be standing up for this. I'm not going to be, sitting on my ass, and I'm going to be kind of talking down because my microphone doesn't go all the way up. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of crap going on right now. I really wasn't going to say anything, and then I felt like I had to say something, and then it got kind of interesting. So, I really needed to say something. And I was gonna go live a little bit earlier, but I decided to like, hey, just let it ride. You're trying to do this whole midnight thing on your own. So I'm actually another reason why I'm standing up is because I don't want to be distracted by the comments. I love reading the comments. I love interacting, but there's just like a whole list of things that I need to say. And usually when I start reading the comments, I have the attention span of a guppy, and I get very distracted by people commenting and stuff. Hold on. So yeah, things that seemed to be like chill, calm. Things got a little bit nice. The the internet sphere was a little bit habitable. Things were going good, but then it's the whole um, this person's talking about this person again. This person's creating a secret alliance with this person. These two people are going after these people, and it's all kind of crazy. And I'm sorry, but I feel like I need to sneeze. So okay, let's get this started. Okay. So let's just get started with this. Why are we so obsessed with being liked by others? Is it mainly because we want to be seen as like the cool kids on the block, cool kids on the internet, or is it because we really have nothing else to offer? And I've been a victim of this before, to where I'm like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. Let me talk about Vanessa, or oh, let me talk about um, Ophelia and stuff like that. And it really made me wonder, like, do I do it because this is actually content that I want to talk about, or is it content that I know is going to bring people to the channel? Is it content that I know is going to bring the numbers up? So at that point, it's just more of a why do you do it kind of thing. And I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I don't care that I don't have the most viewers. I don't care that I have the most subscribers, the most people interacting. That's not what I care about. If I cared about that, of course I would go and I would re-upload stuff that Haim is doing, or re-upload stuff that Ophelia does, or re-upload stuff that Vanessa does, or stuff that Manny does, or stuff that 210 does. I would re-upload it, put my little commentary on it, my little ones and twos and peanut gallery comments there, and I will build my content on that. But I'm more here to just speak my mind, and if you don't like that, then you could just click the back button. You could throw a downvote if you want to, because any interaction really helps this channel. Hit the unsubscribe button. I know a lot of people have ever since I kind of started disagreeing with some people, and that's not an issue with me because it just shows who's really here for the content here. And now it seems like too many people now are just focused on talking about others, and it's really giving the I have nothing else to offer kind of vibes. But I'm not gonna like someone disliking me or someone saying something bad about me or not wanting to associate with me or not be my friend. I'm not gonna let that stop me from expressing what I want, because why am I gonna cater to what one or two people want me to do or see versus yeah, and I'm trying not to read the comments, so I'm keeping like my screen here. I should put like a little something here so I don't look down. But I just think we should always speak our minds, even when it's not popular, even if it makes you the enemy to the majority. I think you should still speak your mind and not be afraid to like go out and say, "Hey, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is cool. I don't think we should be doing this, or there's other ways to do it." And I know it's hard not to stand up for what you really believe in when you're more focused on, I want people to like me, or what happens if I lose, viewers? What happens to if I lose subscribers? But it's important to know. Sorry, I'm getting messages here. Okay, I'm trying to avoid comments, and now I'm getting messages. Um, it's hard to stand up against what you believe in when you know there's going to be a lot of people against you for it. You know, when you know there's going to be people that might not like you anymore because you're not giving people what they want. And I know about having, I know like having an online platform is, kind of give people what they want, but there has to be a line to where you're catering versus you're just talking about the content. Now I'm saying I'm not saying like, okay, you have to be a complete jerk. You have to be like, I'm trying not to cuss because I'm still like in the first couple of minutes of the live here. But there's a line between speaking your mind and being completely disrespectful. And this goes on everyone. I've been guilty of it too, to where I've said some things that I shouldn't have said. I've made comments that I shouldn't have commented and stuff like that. But the thing is, I'm owning up to it. I'm saying, hey, this was me like from way back then. Wasn't cool that I did this. And y'all have seen the videos. Okay. I've even had Vanessa on my show and we discussed, the stuff I did. That's not making me, sorry, I had it on the brightest setting. I needed to turn that down because I'm starting to see little rings everywhere I look. But if you're not staying true to yourself and expressing your honest opinions, haters are just gonna hate. And they keep on hating because you're not here to please them. You're not here to please your haters. You're not here to try and convince them, like, hey, like me. I want you to like me. I want to be friends, kind of thing. No, you're here to find individuals that respect you and what you say and what you have to offer, rather than go that way. See, I'm really trying not to read comments, but I'm obsessed with it. Um, I see the little movement down here, and like my little eyes are just going to it. Um, what was I saying? Like I said, there's a difference between giving commentary and talking about a topic versus bleeding the content of someone dry. Like Frank did, and me and him have talked about it in the past. Manny's doing it. I know Jaime is kind of Jaime like he's not. I'm not gonna call him a flip flopper, but like he does the things he does, but then he'll have another topic show, and then he does the things again, and then it's another topic show, and then it's back and forth. So I really can't get a beat on what Jaime's going to talk about tomorrow. Is he going to talk about this tomorrow? Is he going to talk about another addiction? So it's kind of all over the place there. But in general, I think everyone, myself included, has used the topic of talking about someone as a form of content. Whether people want to admit to it, people want to apologize for it. People want to just say like, "Yeah, I do it. So what?" That's on them. Me, I'm saying I did it. It was gross, and I'm over it already. Um, and when it comes to it, anyone could talk about what they want to on their platform. They could use that argument. I use that argument like, "Hey, it's my platform. If I want to talk about drama this week, I can talk about drama this week. If I want to talk about movies, I can talk about movies." Anyone can talk about whatever they want to talk about. But there comes a point where you're talking about looks, someone's body, someone's personal life, bringing in their children, bringing in deceased relatives, bringing in um, like personal financial issues that, someone can't pay this bill or someone can't, afford, this meal and stuff like that. That takes you from like a commentator to this is a word that's used so much, is like a harasser. I tried to look for another word, but I couldn't think of it right now. And sometimes, I mean, borderline obsessive to some degree. I know this whole thing with Frank driving by Vanessa's house. He was saying that he was just getting gas and that it was just, along the way. But I mean, there's not really much to do in Raymondville. Like I don't even think I've ever been to Raymondville myself. I don't think there's anything that really calls me, anything that really uh, requires a visit. And I think Frank was like at the island. That's not like they're right next to each other. So, I mean, that I'm gonna say I felt like that was, an unnecessary thing, especially to show the house while he's driving. It just gave off like, a whole vibe that I thought was done with. And with these platforms, there's just a lot of fighting, and in return, it turns to war, and that's really what everyone's here for. Everyone's here for the war. Okay, people don't want to hear about my favorite directors or my favorite style of shooting or if I prefer 8 millimeter film over digital. Some people might want to hear that, but the majority of people don't. The majority of people here want to know who said this, who got arrested a few hours ago and then catched and released kind of system, who had the police called on them, who has warrants. That's what people are here for. I keep looking down. I'm sorry. um, I see it, but at least I can admit to it as well. Others like hiding behind like, oh, this is my platform. I can do what I want. This is my show. This what the hell does Jaime say? I don't know. I can't speak that much Spanish, so I'm not going to try and impersonate Jaime. I don't want a lawsuit on me for that one. But the whole, it's my platform. I can do what I want. It feels like such a cop out because at some point everyone had different content on their page. Everyone started somewhere else. I started with, weird food reviews and toy reviews and where I would go and just buy a bunch of random toys and action figures and collectibles and just open them on camera. That's where I started. And then I milked the whole Vanessa thing for a while and then I got over it. And then now I kind of just dip my toe into the drama and then I'll go back to talking about other things, but I change it up a little bit. No one started in their first video was like, okay, we're going to talk about this person, or let's bash this person, or let's stalk this person, or let's make fun of this person and like put a costume on and stuff like that. No one started off like that. And that's something that a lot of people forget because a lot of people come into these videos already knowing, oh, uh, this page talks about Ophelia. This page talks about Frank. This page talks about Vanessa. This page talks about everybody, kind of thing. And I think, and I don't know if anyone else would admit it, but people with these content pages decided, hey, I'm not cutting it. I'm getting 100, 200 views. I need to go a little bit bigger. Okay, everyone else is monetizing except me, or I'm so close to monetizing. I just need something to take me over that hump. And that's when they start, myself included. That's when we started, getting into this. And I'm trying not to sound like an after school special. Um, I'm trying not to. Okay, I feel like I should have the piano and like the growing pains music and the Full House music in the background as I'm saying this because I these are like the kind of lessons that we kind of grew up watching. Oh, don't say this about this person or don't do this about this person. But honestly, I feel that if things were turned around the other way, people would want it to stop. Ophelia had a little bit of it to where people were stalking her, people were harassing her, people were photographing her, people were creating pages about her. Whether it was a court order, ceasefire, or she did it of her own free will, I don't know. There's the theories that everyone could throw out, but I don't think she liked it as much as anyone could say, "Oh, I love being talked about," or "I love that they're talking about me." At some point, it has to actually affect you, or else you wouldn't talk about it. Jaime had the same issue to where he was being stalked. He was being, he still has all these pages against him, and whatever character persona he wants to show, I'm sure bothers him at some point, knowing that he can't freely go someplace because he knows that, oh, there's people in this town that don't like me, or there's people in this town that are looking for me, kind of thing. So things really got real. And I'm sure the words started cutting deep. I mean, some of these insults that have been thrown around, I've gotten a few myself, but like some of these words were like, damn, like that came from somewhere out of hatred. Like that wasn't, a joking around, like, haha, like this is a funny joke kind of thing. This stuff was like, shit, this came out of somewhere hateful. I'm past 10 minutes, so I could cuss. And it really showed that people don't like being in the crosshairs of all this, drama and having pages stalk them and having pages built up just to talk about the one person. It's still going to continue. We know what's going to happen. But I thought about it. And this was around the time when I stopped talking about Vanessa because, like, she wasn't running for anything. There wasn't any reason to talk about her. And I started thinking because someone brought this question up, like, how would you feel? I was like, okay, having people follow me every day, seeing what I do daily. Um, Thankful I'm like pretty boring, and all I do is sleep, play video games, go to work, and write a little bit here and there. But there's some people that have skeletons in their closet. There's some people that may be doing illegal things. There's some people that can't afford to have someone follow them. And at this point, the valley is pretty small place. I mean, I feel like everyone knows everyone in the valley because everyone's connected, or maybe it's just this whole drama thing. But everyone knows where everyone lives more or less. Everyone knows like each other's vehicles. So it's not that hard for someone to become the next target, the new target, the new one that everyone decides, hey, let's stop fighting, let's talk, and let's go after this person because I think we all have um some opinions that match up against this person. So let's go after this one person. Because that's what's been happening. Every year there's more people that are brought into this game. And I'm calling it a game because people are acting like it's a game because it's about winning to some of these people. Even though people are getting arrested, people are getting, charges, people are getting rap sheets because of this back and forth that everyone's doing. Think about everyone who was heavily involved, like you want to call them the big players a year ago compared to where they are now. Like how much has their life changed because they got put in the crosshairs too much? Think about maybe 2 years ago, who were the big ones talking about this, like, going after Vanessa or talking about Ophelia or talking about Frank? People either got bored, grew up a little bit, and decided, hey, I'm putting way too much energy into this digital world. I got to do something else. And they walked away. Like I said, I don't know if Ophelia was told she had to get off or she did of her own free will. I'm sure I could hear both things happening from two different sets of people, which is why I don't, say like, oh, this happened. But who knows how she's doing right now? I haven't heard from her. No one else like has told me anything about her. So maybe she's kind of seeing like, yeah, it was stupid. This whole thing, it was stupid. It was a waste. Money wasted, time wasted, especially behind bars. Not worth it. That's the way that some people should be seeing this thing. Because it's an endless cycle and we're all feeding this beast by talking about people, by going after people, by making one person, two person, three person a target to just, make your content around. And you got to ask yourself, because I've asked myself this, am I doing this because I want to do it? Or am I doing it to like feed this beast, this endless cycle, to feed the audience that just want this? Like a lot of the people watching this, because there's some people that are dedicated who are um, who are actually close to some of these creators to where like, yeah, they can have a talk every now and then, they can have a chat every now and then about things that aren't related to this. Oh, your birthday's coming up, happy birthday. Oh, Merry Christmas, like here's a Christmas post like dedicated to you kind of thing. There's a few of those there, but they are very few. A majority of these people don't care, like, I don't care about your birthday. Oh, you're feeling bad, I don't care, tell me more about this person. Oh, you're going through like a dark episode right now. Yeah, I'll be back. I don't want to watch this like, serious topic. Like I'll be back when you're back to talking about Jaime, or when Jaime's back to talking about Frank or whatever. Like I'll be back for that. I don't want to be here for like the stuff about you. That's when you got to realize, okay, like basically bending over for the audience and letting them do whatever they want for the platform. Okay, it's already way past what I wanted to go. I just wanted to do like a quick video, but let me finish up some of these other points here. Talked about that. Talked about it was spinning the other way around. Talked about that in the cycle. Um, I've always said it. Having this platform is about building community. I think that's something everyone could agree on. That when you have a platform, is however small it is, all these myself and my fellow micro influencers here, it's about creating community. You would want that community to be a place where everyone feels safe, where everyone feels that they could express themselves, to where it's not under some nasty regime that you can't speak out and say what you want. I've always been the one to say, like, you're not going to get blocked. I don't have moderators. I don't have like members that go and like filter out my comments or anything. It's just me. And I think that's kind of important because I don't think it's to the point where everyone needs like these moderators because there's thousands and thousands of people commenting at any time. No, there's some live streamers that will have like 1,000, 2,000 people watching at any given time when they're live, and they only have a team of like three moderators just to go filter through the comments. I don't think people need to be building these armies of moderators when the moderators kind of outweigh the actual people that are watching the video. That's just me. But like I said, we need to create a place where everyone feels safe to express themselves, to not feel like if they cross a certain line or disagree that they're going to become the subject of harassment or anything like that. And one of the things that's come up a lot lately is this whole, and we've talked about it before, I've talked about it before, other platforms have talked about it before, is the whole Frank apologizing to Vanessa thing. Jaime brought that up, and now it's creating like a whole other Frank and Jaime part two or part three. I've already lost count at this point. And I get Jaime's points. I do get Jaime's points. I see Frank's side also. Um, there's some sides where I agree with Jaime, some sides I agree with Frank. It's perfectly logical to only have your own opinion on two sides. It doesn't mean you have to take all of one side, doesn't mean you have to take all of another side here. But the thing I want to say is, and I'm super thirsty and I don't have a drink. If somehow Frank managed, well, okay, we're talking about in a world here where Frank managed to find the words to apologize to Vanessa, to go and scream them on top of the highest mountain, nothing would change. Like you said, like the damage has been done. The things that have come out of his platform have already come out. The things that have happened to Vanessa have already come out. Him apologizing, I doubt Vanessa would even accept any apology. So that's probably another reason why he doesn't want to do it, because it's going to fall on deaf ears. But I feel like it's not going to please anybody. A lot of people are saying, no, Frank has to apologize. Frank has to, say he's sorry to Vanessa. She needs to hear these words from him. He's done so much. He's been in it. He's the one who started it. If he admitted to all that, people would still be upset because they would either say, well, he took too long, or he didn't mean it, or it's too late. So the same people who are saying that he needs to say these things, once he does it, like, oh, well, it took him forever to say it, or we had to force him out of it. It's a lose-lose battle there. So I can kind of see that might be the reason why he might not want to do it, because it's not going to change anything. Um, and I think the same could be said about Vanessa. In the beginning, with Vanessa, everyone wanted her children taken away, her daughters taken away. They fought for that. They wrote letters. They wanted this to happen. Um, it happened. We can get past that. We don't have to dig into that anymore. Everyone knows it happened. But now the same people are upset that she's not fighting for them. Like, say in a world where she fights for them, she gets them back. The same people who were upset that she wasn't fighting for them are now going to try and do the same thing to get those girls taken away. And there goes that endless cycle of back and forth. So, I mean, at this point, I she has her reasons for doing things. Like I said, I've talked to her, but we don't talk about stuff like that. But there's just a little bit of hypocrisy in that, to where, like, me and her aren't braiding each other's hair or anything. But another thing is, because I've seen like these pages, and like there's been like other pages that have like spawned on to do like this Vanessa content, to where it's gotten to like body shaming kind of things. And okay, let's say she needed to work out or whatever, if she felt that she needed to. So she's getting bashed because, like, oh, she needs to go work out, she needs to go run laps, she needs to go do this. She started, and then she, I guess, started seeing a little bit of results. I don't follow close enough to see if there's been actual results, but apparently that she wanted to show off the results of her hard work, and now she's getting bashed more because of it. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. The same thing happened with her, with everyone bashing on her, like, oh, she needs to get a job, why isn't she working, why can't she go out and find a job, she's licensed, she has all these degrees. Well, the thing is, she finally started working, and then the same people who are complaining are the ones trying to get her fired, or calling everyone they could like get a hold of to find out where she works so they could report her, or so her bosses could know, like, what do people want at this point. And this has happened to everyone, like, same thing with people saying like, oh, Ophelia needs to go get a job, or Jaime needs to go get a job. Okay, let's say they do, let's say they both start working, I'll give them, office temp jobs like at a school or something like that. Let's say that happens. Once it gets around like where they're working, you don't think these people who are against them are going to call in, start harassing, start trying to get them fired because they think it's a good laugh, when their whole argument to start off with was they need to get a job. So they did. They bettered themselves, and they're still getting attacked for it. Like, that's what I mean by the endless cycle. Like, people are going to find things just to complain about. People are going to find things just to attack someone about it. And I think it's this whole gang mentality, because people on the outside who might not know about these things see like, oh, okay, this person has 300 people watching and bashing this one person, so I got to get in on that. I don't want to be left out. FOMO, fear of missing out. And like, what do people want from these people? I'm not singling out anybody. I think this could be applied a little bit to everybody. And there's times where these platforms gang up. My dog's barking. And it's stupid. Like, if someone were to come out and say, um, Jaime started working security at some venue, for the next 3 days, people would be scouting out venues trying to find Jaime, trying to look for his car, because everyone knows everyone's car, whether you have like a 20-year-old beat up truck or a brand new 2020 car or whatever, everyone knows everyone's vehicle, which is kind of scary. And why I want a new car. I'm using that as my excuse just to buy a new car. So that's why, because I'm being stalked. So let's attack Jaime for not getting a job. Let's get him fired from his job so we could talk about him not getting a job again. Same thing will be done with Ophelia. Same thing will be done with Vanessa, and that's pretty messed up. At some point, this is actual people's lives, and I know if I was, I've been in the crosshairs before. Not to the extent where I have pages and pages talking about me. I'm not that interesting. I think even they got tired of it, but to the point where there's like I don't know, like, I can't get behind it because I know there's a lot of pages and I know there's a lot of energy and I know there's a lot of man hours that go in talking about this one person that they'll probably never meet in their life or see in their life. I can't get around that. And then now pages, well, it's been happening all over, like all over the place. These pages who are like creating secret alliances, or hey, let's uh let's join up on this for this reason, or hey, you don't like this person kind of talked about me, I don't like this person either, let's go after this person. We've seen it. We've seen like these alliances form to where they go off and create like little subgroups, and then they break up, and then those subgroups start fighting with each other, and then we get a little civil war here, a little we good, like, all right, we're good. um it happens, and that's why, as I try and talk a little bit to everybody, like anyone who's willing to be civil with me, I'll talk to them. Doesn't mean that, hey, we're gonna be best buds, we're gonna be homeboys, we're gonna be, brothers, we're gonna be, cousins, whatever. Some families, cousins are better than siblings. That's in some. But it's that, like, hey, let's go after this person like together. Um, if you have an issue with somebody, and I've said it because I've called out people who like I've associated with, I've called them out before. Um, do your own dirty work. Like if you're gonna talk about someone or you want to go after someone, do it. Don't try and puppet master someone into it. Don't try and, lead someone into doing it so you could still be seen as one way when in reality you really hate this person and want to go after them, but you care more about how other people perceive you, and you don't want to give off this whole like, hey, he's a bad guy kind of vibe or anything like that. It's okay. Girls like bad guys. Guys like bad girls too. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that topic. That'll be like a whole other topic about bad girls and bad guys. But if someone doesn't like what I have to say, that's okay. I don't really care. Not here to please everyone. I'm just here to please my own ego and talk to myself like I'm talking to the mirror right now, and just speak my mind. And that's what I've always been doing. Um, it's just ending this because I don't have my AC on. It's getting kind of hot in here, and I have this light blasting me on the side. I feel like I'm gonna get like a char on this side. But we live in a world where harassment and cyberbullying are just rampant, to where they're everywhere. I mean, these whole pages, mine too, for like a little while, might have been considered a cyberbullying page, so people still call me that. But when you're more focused on talking about others and the going ons of others and what other people are doing, rather than focusing on yourself, letting them live their life, because in reality, no one's really impacting each other's lives. Like if Ophelia won for mayor, it wouldn't have affected my life in any way. If Vanessa kept her kids or didn't get custody of her kids, it wouldn't have affected me in any way. So why am I going to talk about it? If Jaime's um, asking for cash apps every week, or looking for a job, doesn't get one, or he gets one, doesn't affect me either way. If Manny continues with his Vanessa content or doesn't, it doesn't affect me another anyway. That's how everyone should kind of see it. Like, don't get too involved. Don't make a big thing out of nothing. Because in reality, no one really impacts anyone's life. Some words might, impact the way you feel, the way you feel about a certain some subject or something. But is it really gonna like deter your life in any way? It will if you get involved, because people have been getting arrested and warrants put out, and to the point where police departments know about this drama. Yeah, that will affect you, but that's kind of your own doing. It's not because someone else is doing it. It's because you're getting way too involved with people that you don't even really know about. um yeah, I guess I could read some of these comments now that I could actually sit down. My legs hurt. My legs hurt. Also, because I'm in fear of my life because I've been fighting spiders for the past weekend. It's crazy. I've never seen so many different kinds of spiders. In the valley, it's usually like the recluse or the wolf spiders, maybe a couple of house spiders. But the ones I've been seeing are something completely different. Different colors too. I like that. But it's also terrifying when I knock down the webs, kill the spiders, and the next day, less than 24 hours, the webs are back. They're bigger. And spiders really don't work together. They don't really. Sorry, my friends are telling me why am I late to video game night. My bad. I'm gonna join them in a little bit. But yeah, spiders don't really like group up. They're not really known as like creating colonies or anything the way you see ants. But there's something different about these spiders because I'll see about 3 or 4 spiders on the same web. They're sharing, they're loving and everything like that. And when I start attacking them, they all go to their nest and then they bust out more spider eggs. I don't know if you don't hear from me again. I think it's because they finally uh, got enough and took me down. That's okay. I went and bought like a whole bunch of other poison. Let me see some of these things. Okay, Isabel is here. Isabel is very vocal. And Isabel brought up a good point. Um, I see a lot of these as like battles. A lot of these online platforms going against each other are battles to where there's like the main person, which is, the head of the army. But then all these people always have like generals or lieutenants or, some that will kind of pick up the battle after this leader leaves. Little instigators that just kind of continue it, knowing that like, hey, we're not going to catch the bad side of this. It's going to be the person who's in the front, the face of this thing. So we could kind of like, let's egg it on. Let's add a little more fuel to the fire. Let's, douse this match in gasoline a little bit. So another reason why I don't have anyone that's like that close to me on this platform. I appreciate everyone who watches. I appreciate everyone who joins in, but I kind of, keep a stiff arm out, like, because I'm like, okay, in this world, and we've seen it happen because there's been so many people who are friends that end up becoming enemies because they're leaking stuff. I mean, we all remember like Anna and Hyman, that whole stuff that happened. I still don't even know what fully happened with that. I just remember there's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, the whole 6 feet away, I'll keep 5 feet, okay? Like 6 feet, I don't need an NBA size distance between us. But yeah, I think that's the safest way to go is if you want to have like someone co-host and come on occasionally, like, once in a month or however often or every episode, however you prefer to do it, that's cool. I just don't think you really trust everyone. I've seen like very close people become enemies, and those enemies end up sharing screenshots, which is another reason why I don't. And I'm just realizing that I'm kind of slanted right now. Sorry about that. But I kind of like the vibe. It gives, like, if I go straight, it looks like the whole room's crooked and I'm, straight up. Um, exactly, something productive, which is like why a lot of people miss it. But I'll throw out like some other topics. Last time we were talking about that YouTuber who might be kidnapped making videos against her will. It's a fun conspiracy theory. I also wanted to talk about some narcissism, some common misconceptions of narcissism, and how everyone likes to throw out that word and say like, oh, everyone's a narcissist because they're self-confident, or this person likes the sound of their voice too much, they're a narcissist, or this person goes live all the time, they're a narcissist. there's a small there's some small truth into that, to where like I think anyone who has a platform has a little bit of narcissism in them. I've always said that, to where if you choose to sit in the camera, look at yourself for, hours a week, hours a month,
There has to be a little bit of narcissism there because you're constantly looking at yourself and you're constantly relying on the comments of other people about what you're saying. You have people listening to your words, you have people watching you. There's a little bit of narcissism in there, so I'll leave it at that. But there's a lot of things that people don't really understand about narcissism, and I did so much reading to the point where I found a book. Let me see. I found a book and I was going to share it. That same Nazi survivor also said the most oppressed worldwide is the individual, which brings up your previous point. These are people's lives. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have to give some credit to some of these people that are bashed nonstop. Because I don't think I would have been able to take it. I don't even know what I would be doing if I had all these pages after me. If I had this many groups or these many people interested in what I'm eating or who I'm talking to or anything, or trying to dig up all these skeletons because everyone has skeletons in their closet. There's some crazy ones that I've heard about everyone. Do I believe them? Not really. The screenshots and signed documents say otherwise, but it's still not my stuff to tell. But I don't need people like that digging into my life, finding out like that I don't know. I didn't really do anything that interesting in my young life though. I never even skipped school. I graduated. I was one away from being the top 10% of my high school. I was number 11, so that kind of pissed me off. But I think that was a very biased call because I entered the school in like the last 3 months of the school year. No, no, no. The last semester of my senior year, I switched schools. By that point, everyone already knew who the top 10 was. The billboards were made, the flyers were sent out. But I came into the school, and that's when like I kind of rearranged all the numbers because I mean I'm not saying I'm a boy genius or anything, but I climbed those ranks really quick. And it was to the point where they're like, you know what? You have way more credits than you need. You don't have to come here anymore. You could stop coming to school. You don't have to do your last semester. Uh, in May, we'll call you to see if you either want to just come pick up your diploma or if you want to walk on graduation, and that's it. So I don't think they wanted me there like shaking things up because if I would have stayed and completed more classes, I would have knocked down the people that were in the top 10. And it was just um, a whole thing. I made peace with it. I'll take number 11. At least I'm not, like way down there. What skeletons can they dig up? I stole a calculator from a book fair once. I mean, that's one thing I could think about. Um, yeah, I got in some school fights, but I mean, they weren't that bad. I think everyone has like one school fight. Made a kid cry in 6th grade when I was in 4th grade. That's about it. I don't know. My wife says I was kind of a bully growing up, but I say it's hard to be a bully when you're the one being bullied. Uh, but she still says I was a bully in some way. Let me put that up here. So yeah, I just wanted to have this kind of like with my daughter like not going to school, like I don't have to be up early anymore, so I could stay up late on my nights off. And I figure I could have this whole like late night talk to where we talk about like whatever, like it's completely unplanned. We just talk about whatever, talk about some crazy stuff. We could show some car chases next time. And I want this to be a little bit more of like a unscripted, a kind of show where when I hit stream, I don't know where we're gonna go. I don't know what the first topic's gonna be. Anyone could just throw out whatever. And I feel like that would be nice. I want to call it like a midnight special. I'm gonna have a little Denny's background here. I'll probably look for a Denny's apron or a Denny's hat, and we could have a the kind of conversations you would get like at the end of the night, whether you're partying or studying all night. I could honestly say I've never partied or anything. When I would go to Denny's in the middle of the night, it was because me and my friends were hungry and wanted pancakes and a break from our video games. It still happens to this day. We still get together and leave the wives at home. They interact with each other. I don't think they talk as much as the guys do. But, the women stay at home and the guys, we go pick up the food, but secretly we have like a pancake or two, maybe a little bit of, well, I have orange juice, but they have coffee, and say that the food just took forever. So we have our little like guys moment, and then we just head back home with the food, and everyone's happy. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for. I wanted to have kind of like a bartender vibe, but I don't drink, so that would have been a very moot point. So yeah, I won't. I honestly only want these things to be like 10 minutes, just a quick thing, let you all know what's going on in my head. Either you'll be intrigued, scared, or try and find a priest in my area to come and cleanse what's going on in my mind. Because sometimes there's some real crazy things that go out there. Okay, I start reading all these conspiracy theories, and I'm not a full tinfoil hat kind of guy, but there's some crazy things out there. This whole AI technology that's coming out, this whole UFO clips have been released, skinwalkers, ghosts, Donald Trump, whatever like conspiracy theory you have. Epstein is another one. I really want to talk about Epstein because there's been this Twitter page that one by one has been releasing names that were on that Epstein list, that little island list, to where they show the connections, they show times that they have, and they show the proof of when these people visited this island, and the power that these people have. A big one was Bill Gates. That one was kind of crazy. He doesn't know my name, but I met him at one point, who probably will never remember. But Bill Gates and his wife went to my school at one point. Emmett Smith went there too, but he didn't do anything cool. He didn't like signing anything. He didn't want to sign anything because he has his own sports like place where he signs his memorabilia, and that all that money goes to like his mother or something like that. So he gets real like, no, I'm not gonna sign anything for you kind of thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I have video games to play. It's my final night before I go back to work. I only work 3 nights this week, but it's gonna feel like 100. But hey, let's shoot for a Saturday, midnight special. Let's shoot for a Sunday midnight special. Let's do something. I'm not gonna go ahead and eat on camera, but I'll buy like a pancake candle or something just to kind of grow the kind of grow an ambiance here for me. Yeah, the flight logs have little by little been released, but I'm not gonna get into that now because I want to go turn my brain off for a little bit. Some people think that it's always off, but no, it's not. It's always just in low power mode, energy saving mode right now. I kind of want to turn it off, not think about the crazy and ugly things there are in this world. Kind of think happy thoughts while I go and play Call of Duty and shoot people in the head and laugh with my friends about it. That's kind of what's going on. So I'm going to end it now. Thank you all for joining me. Whether you liked it or not, the fact that you're still here listening says something. I'll talk to you later.